All right, so this is a little bit for what all sense and purpose is a look behind the scenes of what I do when I create, my live streams and the videos and stuff like that. I use a software called Ecamm Live. What it is a streaming encoder broadcast software and recording as well. I think of it like a little bit beefed up version of OBS. It is only Mac only, Mac OS only. So if you want to find something like this over on the Windows side of things, you're not going to find Ecamm. You'll find a comparable software called vMix, which is it's geared more for the professional side of things. So the learning curve is a little bit more enhanced, as it were. Think of it as something that if you're looking to make your videos a little bit more professional, it has Zoom integration. So if you want to have Zoom calls and to wow your clients, your people who you talk with over Zoom calls, or if you're doing any kind of content creation recording with the Zoom functionality as well, bringing in guests, especially for like podcasts and stuff like that. This is definitely what I would suggest. I'm not just being biased, I'm also an affiliate for Ecamm Live. So if you watch my videos over on YouTube or anywhere else, I do have an affiliate code if you want to check out Ecamm Live for yourself. It is a 14-day free trial. You can click the link down in the description down below. So let's actually get into the meat and potatoes, as it were, of what Ecamm is capable of. So as you can see, it's pretty modular. I got all my stuff over there. I have the different modules. I got a camera switcher where I can integrate different camera sources. So let's say I have, of course, the camera that you're looking at right now. I'll have my iPhone is another camera which I can bring in. So let's go ahead and add this right here. How's it going? You can see, of course, I had the green screen behind me and all that goodness. So you can switch between the different ones. So if I wanted to do a little inception here, and that's the widget, but you get the idea. You got camera switches, you got different ways to bring in different camera sources or video feeds. So say if you have like an Ecamm Mini, where you can have that Ecamm Mini as an output, one single output, you can have that in and then do your camera switching through the Ecamm. But you also have that capability within Ecamm as well. You also have, of course, with any kind of encoding software, you have your overlays, your scene selection. So I have this one right now I use mostly for showcasing everything that's on the other computer that comes through here. Also can put in, where is it? Just had it. Screen share. So I can turn this on so you can see my screen I'm looking at minus the so I have a dual screen set up here where I have just for, showing my Mac monitor, and of course just chatting. So here goes back over to this camera. That's the iPhone. I have a blank one where it's behind the scenes. Don't look at the mess. And of course, it's a typical scene. And of course I have be right back and a stream ending scene. So the cool thing that I really enjoy with Ecamm is I'm able to put any kind of, not widgets, but more of a like shapes. I can make my own kind of overlays. I don't need to go to a third party to overlay, which overlay is what you're seeing right now. So I have like the game capture, this right here, which is created inside Ecamm. The now playing that's up above, that is actually a widget from it's a browser source, and all sorts of different things. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Let me go ahead and add a shape. So this is a shape, is a square with rounded rectangles or rounded corners. And it's a great thing too, because I can set this up as I don't want make it a square. I can change this is a gradient right now, but I want to do, I'm sorry, it was a single color, but now I can do a gradient. I can change the direction of the gradient, of said gradient. I can change the opacity of it. So if I wanted to do, you know, the tan and the purple, I'm gonna have like a border color, gradient, or even a motion border. And this is all within the software itself. So let me go ahead and turn off. And of course I can change the rotation of said shape. And it doesn't have to be just a rectangle. It can be a square, circle, a squircle, and then a perspective, this is a new feature that they just implemented not too long ago, where you can change the actual perspective of whatever it is that you have there. And this also be utilized not just in shapes, but pictures and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and clear that. Let's go ahead and add a picture. Let's see. So if I want to do like a brand logo, so we're going to put in, let's use the Oncast logo, and let's just shrink it down a little bit. Cat fur gets everywhere, I swear. All right. Since sometimes it's a little sensitive on, you know, trying to get, you know, the bounding square to show up if it has like some transparent background. So you do have the option to have the click into the settings that I was trying to get over there. But anyways, perspective. So what I mean by that, I can have it all the way to the right or go this way. Double click it, kind of goes back to its default. Rotation, same thing. You can have a transition. So like if I come into the scene, you automatically have it where it comes in from the flying from the bottom or spins in. So let's go flying from the bottom. Go ahead, close this, and I'll show you here. Go back to this scene. And what's going to happen is it's going to fly in from the bottom like I had it just selected. There we go. So you can set up all different things to do different transitions when you go into that particular scene. It's just, you know, it's a nice little thing. You don't need plugins for a lot of this stuff, because I know many people will say, oh, OBS, you can do the same thing with, yeah, you just have to get a plugin. And sometimes the plugins are going to be a little finagly, as it were. Sometimes you might have some issues with them and you might have to uninstall, reinstall, and just to work on it. This is coming in right out of the box where it's, as it were. All right, so let's go ahead. Now, what if I wanted to do, let's get rid of that. Now, one nice thing I like, well, not just one thing, another thing I do enjoy with using Ecamm is the integrated interview mode. If you ever watch the 0 Point Report, I do that entire show within Ecamm. And I have Ocho and Jimmy the Rabbit. They call in, but it's just, I give them a link into the interview side of things for Ecamm, and I can automatically put them into whatever spot I have already built, which, you know, guest one, guest two, they automatically go into their respective positions on the scene. And I have built a couple different scenes that are for have multiple guests. We do last time was when we had Brendan from Star Anvil Studios talk about the Secret World Legends tabletop game. So I had built this custom scene that had included space for him, and I think we had 2 other people join as well. So I had like, I can have up to 10 guests on the interview mode. And it's a great thing too, because I can have someone, if I wanted to, give someone the link to their particular instance where they can call in. I'm using air quotes there. But yeah, it's a great system that it's all integrated into one package. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, it can't be free. No, unfortunately, it's not free, but it is reasonably priced. I should have had this up and running. Now, what you might expect, the package I run is the Pro plan. Yes, it's $40 a month, but it includes the Ecamm integration with Zoom. It's fully baked in with Zoom. The live interview mode, virtual mic and webcam, got 4K streaming, live video monitoring to any display. So if I wanted to have the scene that's behind the web page, if you wanted to put this onto another monitor somewhere, like a confidence monitor that you have, you can do that. Isolated audio video recording, which I have not got to. I'll get that into just a moment. Same thing for audio monitor output, real-time bandwidth stats, and VIP tech support. So you get a lot for your money, and that's just the pro. You also included with the unlimited multi-streaming to 10 destinations. So like I said at the beginning, I'm streaming to our Owncast, our PeerTube, Twitch, YouTube. So that's 4 destinations I have, no problem. The only issue is not on with Ecamm, it's with your internet bandwidth. If you have the capability to stream to at least 4, because I'm streaming a 1440p resolution at 30 or 60, I forget which one I'm streaming at. But anyways, it requires at least 22 megabits per second for your internet. That's the upload. So if your internet is not as robust, that's going to be a limitation, but that's not on the software, that's on your internet side of things. And of course, you get unlimited overlays and branding, screen sharing with picture-in-picture, in-app comment stream, which, let me go ahead and collapse this. So this is moving into the comments. Now, some people are been looking around. I use a system called Social Stream to bring in comments from all the places I stream to. I can also utilize the Ecamm as well, but the only issue with this is that it does not bring comments in from RMTP or RMTP connection. What that means is it doesn't have integration with, it passes your account information to the streaming service. Like I can with LinkedIn, Twitch, and YouTube, and some others. I think if you use Restream, you can integrate those comments in from Restream. I have not tried that because I have no use for Restream, because I have a capable enough internet so I can stream to 4 different places at one time. But I might try that out. Just, pay 1 month for Restream and see how that goes. If I can bring in the comments from the services that I'm streaming out to Restream. But I believe those also include RMTP, so you'd be able to get the comments from that. But anyways, moving on. So let me go ahead and put in test comment here. And now this is going to go to all the different services like Twitch and YouTube. Now if I was streaming to LinkedIn, it will show up here as well, or Restream. And now the cool thing is, as you can see just below, this is not Ecamm. The comments that you see down there in the bottom, that's from Social Stream. That's why I have the integration with that, because I wanted integration with from Owncast, because that's an RMTP service, and PeerTube. So unfortunately, those would not go into Ecamm. That's why I use Social Stream. But for me running the pushing the buttons for a 0-point report, so I can bring in comments during the show. So if I wanted to bring in, this one from YouTube, all I do is click on the button right here where it says add to broadcast, and it automatically puts in the comment right here. So I can move this around. I can put no border, and this make a cool different ways I can integrate comments into my live stream, which is actually really cool. It's very customizable, and same thing for like the Twitch side of things. There it is, and it'll automatically show the location from where this comment is with the little icon there from Twitch, the user profile, and of course their name and the comment that they have. So that's pretty cool. And what you could do, let's say you're running a show like a podcast or something like that, and you want to have people ask questions, but fill up a bank of questions as you're going through segment, or as you're talking about something that you will eventually, what you will do, you'll get to the questions at the end of that segment. So what you could do is click on, as you're going through your segment, you can click on the favorite here. Say, oh, definitely want to have that as favorites. So you can click on the favorites tab and they'll show up here. Or what a lot of people do on YouTube, especially do like talking head type of shows is that they'll have a timer, their mods, or have a timer automatically roll through during the show, is that if you want to ask a question, have it preface with like a Q colon. So something like Q colon, this is, and what's going to happen is that what you could do when you get to the end of your segment and you want to look for questions, they have a search bar here, or search box, and what you can do is type in Q colon and automatically show within your Ecamm comment section here the questions that are coming through. So be like, answer this one, and I'll answer this one, and you can bring it on screen and then say, thanks for the question, Two-Tone Waffle. This is my question. That is a definitely good question. What did you want to hear as an answer? And that's just one of the nice things, that it's fully baked in. It's something that is part of the software. There's no plugins that you need to install or to worry about. I'm not putting down OBS. In fact, I have used OBS, and sorry for microphone. I've used OBS for many years prior to me joining up into the Ecamm world side of things. The issue comes with that what happens when I have too many plugins is just hard to keep track of. You have, like, there's a Move plugin, there's Exeldro's Move plugin, there's different effects plugins, there's different plugins for bringing in questions and comments and stuff like that. There's a multi-stream plugin. It's just the like the Ecamm. Ecamm is a great service. There's a great chat bot. Also, there is the Ecamm vertical plugin for OBS, which is really, really cool. It's something that, you know, I would be able to have the same functionality where I can stream a horizontal video source feed like this, but also have a separate vertical source feed for vertical shorts and, you know, it's just for recording purposes as well. That would be very cool to see, and it's something that would not be a plugin. It'd be basically essentially built into the program itself. So that's pretty much like the comments. There's not really much anything else that I can say. Well, let's overlays. Let me put in a, there we go. This is just a, but if I want to do color, I want to add the blue. Of course, you can also change the where it's on screen. But anyways, there's a lot that you can mess around with. You can customize it and completely make it your own. You can do your custom like brand colors in there, where it's like, for me, I'll have like this orange and like a purple. I'm gonna have that in there. Let's take a look at actually the separating of the recording. So I'm not going to be able to show too much because I'm live right now. But let's see, I just want to make sure you guys are getting this. But the Twitch app is so garbage. Like, I want to go into, not now, go into my channel, Stream Manager. Okay, so as you can see here, I can have separate recordings for not only my video, but also for the audio as well. So I can separate those particular recordings. So if I wanted to take those separate recordings and go into my editor of choice, whether it be DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, I'll have those particular files that I can utilize and put into my editing software. Say a guest volume was not as well as it could have been, I can like bump up the volume or bring it down because their mic was very, very hot. I'll have the option, or I can have it where I'll have just the audio of my stream, and I can simply take the audio, do a little bit of editing, and then save it out and post it up as a podcast episode or whatever I want to do with it, or cut out for different things to do with like an audiogram that I can build with a different service. It's just, there's a lot of choices and a lot of options that you have available to you. So you have different feeds for like camera A, camera B, C. You also have interview and Zoom guests. You can have different recorded isolated video tracks and audio as well. You can also change the file format when recording ends, when it's a prompt for a file name. That's when, if you do a recording only, it's not going to give you that option if you're doing recording and live streaming. You also have a record only countdown, so you have like a countdown that shows up in your preview window here. It gives you countdowns like 3, 2, 1. Hey, this is recording. I'm recording. Blah 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 blah, and it goes from there. Destinations. Right now, I have all my stuff right here. I have the 0 Point Report, YouTube, and Twitch. So when we go live with the 0 Point Report, so it goes live to both Twitch and YouTube, I can set that up. So for the Two-Tone Waffles side of things, I have the Omcast, I got PeerTube, SharePlay. SharePlay, it does not play well with Ecamm for some reason. It's just because I have it set up as I am, like I said, I'm at 1440p at 30 frames per second with a widescreen. I can probably do a ultra wide, like a 2-to-1 ratio. 21, is it 21 to 1? I forget. That's what I should be doing now, because I do have a wide screen. So my destination for 4, it's a nice thing too, because they integrate a speed test, internet speed test, so you can simulate. Okay, I want to do stream out to 4 places. What is required of my internet? And well, it's 21.7 megabits that you need. So if you have a 20 meg upload, it's not gonna be a fun time. So that's something that you'll have to think about when you're multi-streaming. Even with the OBS multi-stream plugin or the Ecamm multi-stream plugin, you got to think those are essentially the same. What I'm doing here in Ecamm is that your computer is sending out one stream to each service. So that's what you got to think about. Now, if you wanted to do like a restream, it's just one stream feed out to Restream, and then they take your stream and then share it to wherever places that you have set up. So in that case, Restream helps if you don't have the bandwidth necessary to send out to 4 or more places, or multiple places, I should say. So you might want to take a look at like Restream. It's expensive. It's like $20 a month to do one feed per platform. And if you want to do multiple feeds to multiple platforms, then of course it's $30 or $40 is the next bump up. That's per month, unless you want to pay a month or pay yearly, then you get a little discount, but still it's a higher onset cost per year that you have to think about. So it's a great thing for that. If you want to do just a single feed out to one place, and that's fine. Or if you got the internet bandwidth, knock yourself out with many as your bandwidth can handle. Of course, you also have different audio setup that you can set up with where your audio is coming from. You have mic delay. You can map input channels 1 and 2 to the left and right stereo, interview mode, screen sharing, shortcuts, remote control, and then of course, with this is new within the past month or so, is Zoom is fully integrated into Ecamm. So if you have a Zoom account and you do a lot of your meetings through Zoom, you can use Ecamm to do your Zoom calls. So you can do like a full-blown meeting or a presentation with Ecamm through Zoom. And it's all fully baked in. So instead of the interview mode that's over here on the left, it'll be the Zoom integration. I don't have a Zoom account. I do have a Zoom account, but I don't use it because I use this instead. So, and of course you have different things. I'll probably look into doing a video in the future about the Zoom integration with Ecamm, but that's for a later date. Tonight, we're just looking at the behind the scenes stuff of what's going on. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Now, I do understand a lot of people will be looking at this. It's like, well, this is way too complicated. What the hell are you talking about? And it's going to cost me money per month? I can use OBS for free and do all the work myself. Yes, that is very true. That's what's called options, and you have that option to do so. OBS is fully capable on the Mac. Since they last updated a couple updates ago, they moved over into using the ability to utilize the Apple M1 chips or the Apple M chips and stuff like that. I don't know exact terminology, but yeah, you get my point. The fact of the matter is that OBS is very capable of running within a Mac system. It says, well, Mac, who wants to stream with Mac? Well, I do. I have a 2 PC setup. I decided a couple years ago that I wanted to play around with the Mac ecosystem as my streaming PC, and haven't looked back. The onset, at the time, I kind of did cheap out. I got the base M1 Mac Mini, and it worked perfectly fine. It ran Ecamm just perfectly. It was when I wanted to add more things that I wanted to, like, have a browser window up or Discord running and all sorts of stuff running at the same time. It kind of utilized a lot of the resources on the computer. The M1, the 8 gig base Mac Mini M1 is a very capable machine if you're doing just random, normal, everyday task. When you want to do streaming, you probably want to look at the M2, especially now, or wait until I'm guessing the M4s when they come out, probably later this year or sometime next year. But the M2, which I'm running right now, is the upgraded, that's the higher tier M2 Mac Mini. I was looking in between the Mac Mini or the Mac Studio. Essentially, the highest tier Mac Mini is essentially the same price as the Mac Studio, except I have the terabyte hard drive. I would not be able to get that on the Mac Studio. I would be the 512, and to myself, more storage is the better option. And of course, it's the Apple tax of $200 to $300 for the hard drive upgrade. So I was like, all right, and I don't need all that much. All I'm doing is essentially live streaming, messing around with Pixelmator, doing my thumbnails and stuff like that. So I don't need the Mac Studio beefy system. Now, down the road, I might upgrade, or I will upgrade eventually, because that's what I did. I upgraded the M1 to the M2, the high tier, and I'm having perfect streams, except sometimes I have an issue with Elgato or Beacon software. It just fails. But I'm thinking it's because of, I gotta look for a different USB hub, because it's the one that the Mac Mini sits on top of. So I'm thinking it's a lack of airflow, and the drive is getting hot, which is increasing the air temperature coming into the Mac Mini. The Mac Mini is running hot, especially during live streams. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna have to maybe switch over to the CalDigit, because I'll get more ports and better features. But that's a future problem. That's future me problem to deal with. But this is essentially Ecamm Live. This is what I do every single live stream. The recording, I also record at the same time as I live stream. So I take the recordings, I run it through Descript, and take out all the silence parts, the filler words like uhs, and these, like I just did, and that, and of course turn it into an edited video that I can post up onto our PeerTube instance, and then later on our YouTube channel. And I also use the Descript. It has a great feature where it extracts the show notes for you and automatically builds the keywords and chapter markers. That's what I was trying to stumble upon, and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's a great piece of software that I'll also look into creating a video down the line too, that I want to get scheduled. So look forward to that at a later date. Essentially what I do is after the stream is done, I hit the finish button down here, but I also have it on my Stream Deck. So it sets it up that automatically closes out the stream, and then Ecamm gives me a window to, hey, what do you want to do with this file? And of course to say, oh, show me the file, so I can change the name, do all my post-production stuff with it. So Ecamm is a great piece of kit. It's actually really, really cool. And yeah, if you're looking for something that can make or can help your production be a little bit more professional, or you want to do something that is a little bit more all-in-one type of thing, I do have to say caveat that it doesn't do everything. There are some things that are missing that are being worked on, but for the most part. If you want a great looking piece of kit, piece of software that you want to increase your production level on your live streams or your recording, definitely check out the link down below. It's like I mentioned before, it's my affiliate link to the ecamm.com. And yeah, this is a great piece of kit. Anyways, check out the links and I'll see you on the next one.